record now. We're good.
All righty. Do you have a spiel you need to do for that, or?
No, I put it in the chat. Yeah.
Okay, coolness. All righty. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the class. I am the Honorable Lord Curteis FitzOsbern. I am the web writer for the Barony of Calafia. The topic for today is Discord for the SCA. Some three main topics that I'd like to cover today is what is Discord and how is it different from other virtual presence tools like Zoom. 2, how do you actually use it as a user? And then 3, some considerations for how to design a Discord server as a community, a virtual community area for your territory, or as a virtual event site, and how that reflects back to, as a user, expectations of how to use it when you get there. Also some higher level concepts of how to moderate your Discord server for being a virtual event site. There was a further thought in there. We'll get to it later. Okay. So the first question is, what is Discord? So let me go ahead and start up my sharing screen. Where are you? Is it that one? Screen 3, we'll go with that one. All right, did that actually work as intended? I can't actually see what I'm sharing, so I'm not sure. What do you see?
Discord. So
okay,
got it.
So I currently have Discord open in Chrome. And I'm doing this because this is my WebWrite account that I manage the Calafian Baronial Discord with. So I'm going to back up a second, and we're going to go back to the actual discord.com site, right? So what is Discord? It is a virtual community sharing area. Actually, before I do that, is there anyone here who is not familiar with Discord? I'm assuming you're taking the class because either you want to know more about it or you're not familiar with it. And where did chat go?
A couple of times, but I'm not that familiar with it, so that's why I'm here.
Where did chat go? Why can I not see chat? What are you doing? There we go. Okay. Show me chat. There we go. Okay. So I'll take that as most folks have some familiarity with Discord then? Okay.
Not very much. I signed up on it, but I haven't really figured out how to do much with it at all.
Okay. Then we'll go through this here. So Zoom sets up the concept of you're logging into a meeting, right? You follow the link, you enter it, and it's like walking into a meeting room at work. Ta-da, there's people. You see them, you hear them, you're there. Discord is more like a campus. You log on to a service and a server, and now you've shown up at the parking lot for this event site. Where do I go and what's here? So whenever you get to a server, right, you're actually going to see a number of servers, the channels on that server, and then the content for that channel. And then all your users that can currently be noisy in that channel are shown on the right. So for instance, as WebWrite, I'm currently subscribed to the Barony of Calafia's server, but also there's a Kingdom WebWrite server that we chat on sometimes. There's a bunch of other ones. There is a known world server for the SCA in general that is its own beast. So that thought process kind of tends to hang people up a bit when they're coming into Discord at first. Is if you're familiar with Zoom, you're like, okay, where am I and what am I looking at? Where should I go? Generally, most Discord, let's see, thought process. Yeah, okay. So in general, when you log into a Discord, most Discord channels, no, back that one up, sorry. Originally, Discord was designed as a virtual community primarily for gamers. And so it has some legacy things that are thought process like that. And there's a bit of a learning curve to getting into it. The assumption is you're going to be using this to chat with people, you're going to figure it out, and you're familiar with tech because you're coming at it from the gaming community. As the quarantine hit, people started looking for ways to have virtual online presence. Discord tried to rebrand themselves as more of a virtual community service. And where Zoom is good for, I'm logging into a specific event, I'm logging into a specific meeting, Discord is open 24/7, which means you can have conversation threads going on there. You can have rooms that you can move between yourself and get familiar and jump into a conversation that's already occurring. You can have ongoing thoughts and processes asynchronously occurring in there, which means it's useful for maintaining a community feeling. So for instance, I have the SCA ones here, but in my private server, on my private Discord, I have subscriptions to, there's one channel of hobby painters, mostly like, miniatures, busts, other things, but they'll just hop in and say, I'm sharing my channel now. And they'll just be sitting there painting away, doing, professional work, and they got their camera running. You can sit there and watch them paint and chat with them and just, get to know who they are and whatever. I've started one for my family where, I invited some friends and family on there, and we can get on there and, Friday night movies. And, Netflix party is nice, but not everyone has Netflix. Amazon Prime movies are nice. You can do parties there too, but not everyone has Amazon Prime. So you can actually stream video through Discord. So we can have video parties with people that don't necessarily have that video service. And you're in audio the whole time, so you can sit there and kibitz about how bad the movie is and have your own MST3K session. So some cons to Discord. It's open 24/7, right? Which means you can come back to it later on and find out that somebody got into a really interesting flame war at 2 in the morning. Randos can show up on it and start streaming naked through a video stream. So you got to watch out for Zoom bombing. There are a number of downsides to being open for business 24/7 like that, as opposed to Zoom, which is only open through the link. Even though, as the Barony of Calafia found out, it's if you don't have your protections in place, someone will still stream something inappropriate into your council. One other con, anyone can open a server, start one up for free. No big deal. It is very easy to set one up way wrong, not the way you want. There's no hand holding. You kind of got to figure it out yourself. So there's a lot of best practices that Discord just sort of goes, your problem. That being said, one of the more annoying things, well, no, let me think that through. Because you set it up for free, the audio and video codecs quality for streaming or video chatting, whatever else in there, is fairly low level. Their monetization policy is around the concept of people subscribing to Discord, not specific servers. And then when you subscribe, you get boosts that you can put towards servers that you like to help boost their service. So whereas Zoom is, the Barony of Calafia has a Zoom and they pay $20 a month in order to maintain that Zoom, and they get nice quality audio and like this. Discord is, hey, I want to start one up for free. We're going to see if it takes off. And if I get enough people and they start chipping in some boosts, we'll get better video and streaming quality and some bonuses. The users get some bonuses, some cosmetic stuff, fun things we'll get into. The server gets some boosts, better video and audio streaming, etc. So it's sort of more of a GoFundMe community-driven payment model. I personally subscribe to Discord in order to boost the Calafian server and get us to tier 1. So for instance, here as myself, I am purple in the text because I'm a booster, and I get the little purple diamond next to it. And that says I actually boosted this. So I get that color, I get the little marker. Ooh, I'm special. Server boosts. So for instance, we've had a couple people chip in a little bit more. It takes 2 boosts to get to level 1, which is 1 person subscribing gets 2 boosts. So 1 person subscribing, you automatically get to level 1. So if you open your own server and you subscribe and boost your own server, ta-da, you're at level 1. Somebody else, we've had 2 more chip in. It takes 15 boosts to get to level 2, and that unlocks some more fancy cosmetics, better audio codecs, more nonsense, etc. You get big communities that actually chip in a whole bunch, and you get all this fun stuff over here, but really it's more just more bandwidth for your server. So there's a buy-in prospect with your server if you're trying to run one for a community. In theory, I could, as WebWrite, do the boosts and remit that back to the barony to be compensated for the cost of the server. Right now, it's like, nah, I'll just eat it myself and get the little purple diamond. Woo! So that's Zoom versus Discord in a nutshell. Any questions at this time?
Yes, I have a question. Do you find it easier to stream movies for a movie party through Discord than it is to set up a separate Zoom link?
Yes. But that's a biased answer because I've done it a bunch in Discord and I haven't done it through Zoom.
Okay.
That being said, if you have a group that wants to watch a movie, it's very easy to do that through Discord. Literally join a channel, say, hey, I want to stream my video. Boom, you're streaming you pick an application or a window or a screen and you're sharing it, right? So I share YouTube and Netflix with a couple friends on a regular basis. We're currently watching Shadow and Bone because they don't have Netflix. And so we watch like an episode of that every couple of days. That being said, again, that whole, if you're not boosting your server, your video codec is going to be kind of meh. It's like 720p, I think. So Zoom will give you a better streaming quality because you're paying for a subscription to it. I believe the free Zoom that you can do, you only get an hour, whereas you get unlimited time streaming in Discord. You have a limitation on how many people can be in a video stream on Discord. I think you can only have 25 people in a video channel in Discord is the cap. I don't know if there's a cap on how many people can watch a stream. Stepdaughter was a moderator for an anime Discord channel, and I think that they capped out somewhere around 100 people watching the stream, but only 25 can participate in the video conversation. Whereas Zoom, you can have dozens of people participating in the video. So it's that threshold of what are you trying to do and how are you trying to do it. If you're dealing with a community and a recurring thing, Discord's easier. If you're trying to do something more professional with a larger audience on a one-off basis, Zoom would be better.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? Shadow and Bone. Let's see. Sibylla's asking about engagement practices and getting people involved and active with it. Ping me again when we get to stage 3 about design concepts on that. I'll try and keep that in mind, but there's some tricks in there, how you set your server up that hopefully drives people to actually participate and be active on it. It hasn't worked for me, but maybe it'll work for you. Sorry. Okay, so Zoom versus Discord. So 2, how do you use Discord? So if everybody wants to go and, hey, I'm going to shamelessly plug the Calafian Baronial Discord here, but it's open and we can see what's happening with it. So if you want to go and hit that, I'm going to see if I can set up an invite for you all. Do we have one already set up? No, we should here. Server settings. Invites. Here we go. All right, let's see if I can do this right.
Okay. Now there is a separate app for Discord as well as being able to access through the web browser, right?
Yes. So where were we? Back on the front page here, right? You can access it. Thought process. You have to create an account with Discord. No, back that one up one. Sorry. You can anonymously use Discord through the web browser. You'll get basically a disposable 24-hour token that you can use to get into a Discord, do whatever you want to do in there. You'll be a noob. You've got, it's difficult to get permissions beyond a certain point. And if you want to do anything more than that, you need to activate or validate your account in order for Discord to actually go, we'll bother saving your account information now because you didn't just, fly by with it. So from the browser here, you can just do, hey, I want to go check out somebody's server and see if I like it or not. And if you don't like it and you don't bother with it, then Discord chucks your token and you become a throwaway count. If you want to keep using Discord or you want to keep staying subscribed to a server, then you need to actually activate that. And whenever you create it, it'll ask you for an email. It'll send you an email to activate your account. You activate your account, they save the token, and now it's a permanent account for you. You can go through the browser all the time. Browser's nice, but you have to run through your browser, and it's a little twitchy sometimes because it's through the browser. I do recommend the application if you're going to be using Discord on a regular basis. I do it through the browser on here because I need to be able to log in 2 different places. One is myself and one is the WebRite. And so I use the browser for my WebRite permissions and the application for my personal permissions. But yeah, just download for Windows or not sure if there's a Mac client. I think there's got to be a Mac client. I do not operate in that circle, unfortunately.
There is a Mac client. I have it on my personal laptop.
Thank you very much. So that's account creation. Then there's the how do you get to a server? So where are you? No. Wait, yes, here. Okay, I'm trying to do a thing and I am messing this up. What's the, no. I really wish they allowed you to just copy out. It's like, here's the shortcut, but where's the actual rest of the thing? It's, what is it, discord.tv? No, that's not right. Oh, never mind. Come on, cooperate. Cooperate. There we go. Okay, that's it. So HTTPS discord.gg, that's the part that always throws me. Okay, so there's our permanent invite code in there. And so there are a couple of ways you can find Discords. Most people, if they're running one, whatever their social media presence, they'll have a link to it. So we have a link to the Discord on the Calafian Facebook, our presence on Facebook. If they have their website, they might have a link there. We have ours on the Calafian website. And it's the same code here. So that's our sort of permanent friend invite. You can create ones where I want to invite one person. I want to invite, infinite number of people for 24 hours. So you can have an event invite. I want to invite only 10 people for the next hour. So you can change out the tweaks to how you do it. That's all server manager side. But generally, it's through a link to the server, and that's invite to join the server. Whenever you first join, the area that you will see is our newcomers folder. And this goes into the design concepts for how things to think about whenever you get to a Discord server. However, most servers have something similar to this. So let's go ahead and hit the welcome channel. So most servers that are open are designed for an open community will have some sort of lobby area. And this serves 2 purposes. One, usually presents the rules and expectations of the server and asks you to please read them first. So some form of terms of service. So for instance, laws of the land channel on this server. And that usually spells out, here's the things that we want you to go through. We want you to read and know about how we operate our channel before you get to access the entire server. And that's generally, don't be a douche. So you go through that. Now, usually part of that is also somewhere in the rules, and we have it on ours, is here's what you need to do to access the rest of the server. Now, that can be as simple as agreeing to the terms of service, which is what we have here. And so if you read the laws of the land, and I can see people signing in here in the welcome area. If you read the laws of the land, right, it actually spells out, here's what you're going to need to do. And then here's all the rules, and here's all the behaviors and how things work on our server, yada, yada, yada. And then at the very end, here's what you need to do. Go to the Magna Carta channel and agree to the terms of service you just read. So the rules say, the instructions say, how to get into the rest of the server. So Magna Carta channel, and it's very simple. Hey, click on the crown, and you say, I'm going to abide by the will of the crown, and I can be banished if I don't do that. So you click on the crown icon, and at that point, all the rest of it shows up. This is what's known as a reaction event. where you click on the crown. Somebody else has already put one in there. You can click on it to say, I agree with that, that reaction. You can add more, but the crown one is the specific one that actually triggers it. So that's a bot that's actually managing that. And we'll get into bots later on. But when you do that, now that gives you the role. When you first showed up, you have no roles, no permissions on the server. So the only place you can see is the newcomers channel or the newcomers area. When you click on that, it grants you a permissions role. The permissions role on ours is gentle. We have gentle, newcomer, gentle, and noble. All right, so you first click on the one, you get newcomers, and that gives you access to see the rest of the server. So you can use those permissions to gate what everyone can see. So again, the two things that the newcomers lobby area does: one, go read our terms of service to figure out how to access everything else, but two, it's a speed bump for Zoom bombers and bots, right? Because they had to figure out how to navigate the rules to figure out how to access everything else. And usually if it's a bot, they're like, never mind. If it's a Zoom bomber, they just want to show up and make a ruckus and leave. Wait, I got to read rules and I got to figure out how to get into your server? Yeah, not bothering. So it doesn't stop them, but it's an obstacle that they have to navigate through. So here are some other things we have in the newcomers area, right? A way to think about this: anytime you show up at an event site, what's the first place you go? You try and find gate, right? Because you need to know, one, I want to check in. Two, I want to find out what's going on where. What's my, where are all the classes or breakouts, that sessions that I'm going to be going to, et cetera. And just, is anybody else there that I know? So the newcomers area is that thought process of a gate for your event site. So frequently asked questions. Hey, how do I do stuff in here? So for instance, I came on here to do video, but I can't figure out how to do video. Why? Well, this is what you have to do if you want to do video. It's saying that I have some authorization permissions, but in order to do that, I have to use two-factor authentication. How do I set up two-factor authentication? That's a moderator issue. Who is Gollum and why is he bugging me about stuff? We have a bot. It has profanity filters. If he says you've been naughty, it's probably because you were naughty. He's a little twitchy on some of the words, so sometimes we have to smack him around, but other than that. When people first show up, they're limited to push to talk in the common areas. So how do I set up push to talk if you haven't set it up already? Well, here's a video on how to get to that. What are our roles and permissions and how do they behave? So you set up some guidelines. You've got the initial laws of the land. Here's the things you need to obey while you're here. FAQ, here's how things work. A site map is a good thing to have. A lot of servers do have them. And it lists out, here's all the channels that we've set up on our server and what they're topically set for. If they're a text channel, you can actually list them in here with the hash text channel name, and it actually becomes a hyperlink, which will pop you over to that channel. So you can actually set it up as a navigation site. If it's a voice channel, unfortunately, it doesn't do that, which is a Discord. So we have that set up. So for instance, we have a bot channel for Radio Free Calafia, which actually has about 400 bardcore songs on there that you can just sit and listen to music. There's nothing quite like came in like a wrecking ball done on the hurdy-gurdy. So we have those. There's a number of other channels and details out what they are. So if you're like, what is that channel for? You can come back to the sitemap and actually have an instruction set on what all your channels are and what they're for. When we have an event open on our site, the gate and gate chat channels are open, and we actually have someone sitting and moderating. So like Elgitha is sitting in the lobby channel for the Zoom here. Normally when we have an event running on our Discord, I'll actually be sitting in the gate chat channel for the first hour or two of the event to greet people and help them figure out how to navigate if they're new to Discord. Fun problem. So you click on a text chat channel, yay, text. You click on the voice channel, it instantly flips your voice and now video over there. So if you were in the middle of a conversation, you accidentally click on a voice channel, off you go. Misclicking all the time happens. So thematically then, we try and break out the content of our site. Now, there are two main reasons that you might want to use Discord, either as a user or as a manager for the SCA. Now, the first is a territorial community site, so for the Barony of Calafia. But the second is as an event site. When we first set this up, I began thinking about a Discord for the Barony of Calafia in March of last year when we became apparent we were going to have to quarantine and we were going to have to cancel Petrura War. And at that time, the threshold of learning necessary to get people ready to work with an event site like Discord for Petrura War was just like, no, there's no way we can scale that up fast enough. But that informed how we wanted to design our Discord for the following year. So thematically, while this is for the Barony of Calafia, it is designed around the structure of Petrura War, so that we can use it as a social community area for. So for instance, here in the event site, community chat, right, we have the stone tables, we have the battlefield, Bedlam, stone privies, parking lot o'clock, Camelot, Sleepy Hollow. Only Hams is its own thing. We'll get into that in a second. And then we have some chat channels that go with this. This is one of the downsides to Discord, and I wish they would address this. The chat channels and the voice and audio channels are separate. So for instance, here in Zoom, I logged in, I have my video and audio going on, and chat is sitting on the side. Ah, okay. So in Discord, chat and video and audio are separate channels. And that can be very disconcerting when you don't expect that. And so you can get into a chat channel and go, okay, I came here with video. How do I start video and audio? It's like, you have to log into the video audio. You're in the video audio and you're like, people are texting about stuff, but I don't know where it's happening because it's happening back in a text channel. So we try to, and unfortunately they don't make it where you can pair them. So we have text channels and then video and audio channels. So we try and name them the same thing. So for instance, we have a Camelot text channel and a Camelot video and audio channel, right? And the idea being that I can log into a video and audio channel. Okay, I'm in it. I can have my video running. Hey, look, I'm in video in this channel. But then I can also go back to the text channel here and have this running up in this little thing and see all that's happening in Camelot. It's a silly place. So let me go ahead and disconnect from that. So you can have that running just because it's there. So people are familiar with OnlyFans. At some point, because Sir Alsander Hammy is part of our WebWrite team, someone discussed we should have an Only Hams channel. And so we do. And it is all hams, all the time. All hams. Only hams. I did not know there were this many hamster and pig emojis in the world. All hams. And every now and then somebody just logs in and throws another one in because they can. So nonsense like this emerges. Anyway, hey, wait, that's not a ham. Oh, yes, it is. How is that a ham? Alsander, I mean, is hammy, but still. Anyway, so, oh, and then Discord does that every now and then. I'm rebooting. All right, so that's that nonsense. So this is the community area. And in order to deal with, to add another layer of speed bump to that, Zoom bomber is just randomly showing up. What's my time check looking like here, just in case? 30, okay, cool. When you join, right, we said when you first get in, you have no permissions, you have no role. Once you click the terms of service, you become a newcomer. When you get to, you do some activity on the site, we have a bot that's doing leveling in the background. And so as you do text chatting, it awards XP. Yes, gamifying, but whatever. But it's a way to do it and manage it. And it'll award you a little bit of points basically for every text chat you enter or emojis, whatever else you do. As you actively participate on the server, at certain points it goes, okay, you've hit that milestone, congratulations, you're now a gentle. Okay, you've hit this milestone, now you're a noble. And what each of those does is enables new interaction permissions on the server. So as a gentle, you can get into any of the channels that are on in the the community chat area. You can text chat, but you can't video or audio, right? And that's, well, we want you to chat. We want you to interact and be active on the server and participate. Throw some stuff in only hams, do some text chatting, say hi, what's going on, everything else, because that's going to drive how you level. We want you to actively participate. So that comes back to what Sibylla was asking about, how do you drive some community? It's kind of heavy-handed, but it also acts as a speed bump to, hey, I want to get in here and Zoom bomb. Okay, text chat for 15 minutes. Oh man. So let's see, do I have that up? Or is that, here we go. So the bot that's doing all of this is Me6. And it's a free bot. You just invite it to your server and then configure the rules for it. Very easy to set up and run. And so here in the leveling area, right, we've got, I'm number one because I chat on there all the time for stupid stuff. Shelly is the social media deputy. So she's number two on here. And then we got some other people who helped kick the tires and test things up and chatted a bunch. And so it's based on how many messages, and it ran as awards a certain number of XP per message. It gives you your XP, and that drives the levels, and you can set what the levels are to do that. So we basically, right now we have it level 3, I think it is, gets you to gentle, and then level 6 gets you to noble, right? So realistically, it's like 15 minutes of text chat will get you audio permissions, and about half an hour of text chat will get you video permissions. So be active on the server, participate in communication, you'll get access to everything.
Is this bot built in to the Discord, or do you have to add that?
That is an extra thing. That's the bot that I was talking about here, Me6. Did I just, yeah, no, here we go, Me6. So this is an extra bot. This is not built into the Discord server. Now, since we set this Discord server up, the company has added some new features to the program that I haven't come back to deal with because we set up the bot to handle that for us. They did set up an actual system for handling some of that low level. Okay, let me back that up a second. So like here in Magna Carta, right? This right here, you can see this was posted by Gollum. Right? So that's the bot doing that. Discord has enabled a system to be able to do something like that with a reaction permission system native to the server, native to the software. So you can set that up. I haven't gone back and changed them out for the native version, so I can't speak to that, unfortunately. But my understanding is that the bot is a little more robust than the Discord server version. And the idea being that they've added baseline functionality to the client, and then people go out and actually write their own apps with a little more functionality, and then expect, hopefully you'll chip some bucks to them and they'll make some money off of the bot that way. So Me6 is free. Well, no, Me6 wasn't free. Me6 has a free version of it that does only this, right? So this reaction terms of service thing that's part of the free part of Me6. The ability to do the radio free Calafia, the leveling system, some other things, those are paid services. And I think that was like $30 for a year subscription, right? So that functionality of just the gating piece has been rolled into the base Discord server function. But I definitely recommend if you search for it, there's a number of bots that do all sorts of fun things. Me6 and Carl, C-A-R-L, are the two go-to Discord bots that I highly recommend. And those do most of your all the moderation stuff I wish the server managed on its own functionality, including profanity filters, warning. So for instance, if you get in here and you actually do cuss enough in here, Gollum will warn you. It'll say, hey, stop that. Send you a private text message. And then actually, if you piss it off enough across the entire server, it'll actually mute you for a while. So you get like a 30-minute mute. I just completely derailed myself. Where were we? Yeah, so let's take a quick look at the level since that got brought up. Ugh, been logged out for too long. Go to the dashboard. Ooh, they've upgraded it. Okay. No. Sorry, they completely changed the UI around, so it's going to take me a little bit. Here we go, levels. Okay, so we've got this set up. XP rates, the no XP roles. So these roles do not earn XP whenever they participate. So like the admin, the moderator, the bots, they're not going to get any, they're not going to level up for participating and doing their jobs. There's a couple of channels that do not get XP if you participate in them. So like the constable's command channel. This is where constables can issue commands that the bot will respond to, so that the constables can mute people, stuff like that. Like, you're not going to get points for doing your job there. And then here's the actual commands for things. There we go. So here it's saying you can set this up to automatically give people roles when they come in. We have it reversed. So when you show up, you have no roles, and then you get roles as you participate. It will award roles. So at newcomer at level 1, it'll do this. At gentle at level 3, noble at level 6, and then it removes the previous reward as you move forward, so that we don't wind up with all of these stacking up. You can set that up so you do want them to stack up, etc. This is getting a little into the weeds on the management question. Yeah, remove role reward when player is demoted. So if for some reason you demote someone back to different rank, it'll remove the role rewards, etc. Graphics card XP rates, some other stuff. So there's a whole boatload of things in here, and it's a little deep for this presentation. If anybody ever wants to discuss any of these, please feel free to contact me outside of this. I'm more than happy to share experience and how we've set things up, weeds, deep in the weeds outside of this class. So how does that work in? Right. So here in the community area, the community site is open 24/7. This is where people are going to come in, they're going to chat, they're going to post ham, GIFs, the whole 9 yards. Okay. But this is obviously the area that we want to be careful about moderation, because we don't want people to get in here and start video streaming, live acts of inappropriateness. So this is where we have the permissions actually come in and say, if you're a newcomer, you won't even see. If you're a guest, you won't even see it. If you're a newcomer, you can text chat. If you're a gentle, you can video, you can audio, and if you're a noble, you can actually video. And that's someone who's been on the server long enough to, like, okay, we know who you are potentially, or you've been actively participating. And we trust you not to do something inappropriate, hopefully. The other areas that we have in here, so for instance, we have the Arts and Sciences Village area, right? So like at Patrol War, there's an Arts and Sciences Village, the Combat Forums area, the practice fields, we have guild halls and game hall. Those areas are actually locked off, and they're only available when someone is actively doing something in them. So we have moderators and constables on the site in our permissions area that will unlock those areas. When those areas are open, everybody has video permissions, right? Because obviously if you can't video participate, you can't join a class. So you want to be able to do audio and video in a classroom. So those areas, someone with the teacher role can come in, open up the classroom area. It's now unlocked, people can see it, people can come join a class in there, they have audio and video in that area. But it's only open when someone's actively moderating it, right? So in this case, we don't have to worry about someone being inappropriate in there, theoretically, because it's being actively moderated. And when someone isn't using that area, they close that area down, those channels aren't available anymore. So the community area has your role permissions determine what you can do, and you have to have been actively involved on the server long enough to have access to those things. The specific use case areas have all permissions open, but they're always actively moderated. So moderation. We have, obviously, there's the admin team, there's the moderator team, but there's also constables, similar to Patrol War. And the roles between those are the admin is in charge of managing the server itself. The moderators are in charge of site content management. The constables are in charge of user management. And so in general, we don't have to have people always watching this server for our background operation. We just have constables. And if someone has a problem with someone in here, they can at the constables, it'll ping them. Hopefully one of them or the admins we'll be able to come back and deal with it. If not, usually it's a text problem, in which case, hey, guess what? We have a record of what you said. we can go, nope, banned. When we're actually actively doing an event on it, so like we did Califian anniversary, or is it Winter Arts? It's been a while. I think it was anniversary. We'll actually have a couple of constables that are on the server and paying attention, just roaming around. And they have the ability to open and close the rooms. They have the ability to facilitate anyone who's trying to do anything on the server. And they can do, yeah, I'm going to issue you a warning because that was inappropriate. And those will stack up over time to that 30-minute ban or 30-minute mute period. So if someone gets nasty in a couple of different channels, they could get warnings from different users or different moderators and constables, and those will stack up to a mute. And so that way we have just sort of a site-wide passive moderation, as opposed to during the normal operations as a community server. But then we have more active moderation during actual events. So any questions so far? Wheaton's rule, yes. All right, I don't see any other chat questions. So how would you use this as a user, right? So hopefully you come into the newcomers area. I've seen a bunch of people just join the welcome channel here today. And let's see if you have, yep, newcomer permissions. Tommaso still has not agreed to the terms of service, so you can't see the rest of the server. Okay, so that is the thought process for the kinds of things you should be looking for in a Discord server when you're logging into one. Try and figure out where the gate area is, where the terms of services are, and how you agree to things. On a number of servers, they'll have, when they have very broad communities, and we thought about doing this at first, but we decided there was too much going on to bother with it. They'll have sub-communities with
We lost your sound, Curtis.
no. I'm sorry, Brianna, did you say something?
Yeah, we lost your sound there. Now we have it back.
Oh, okay. I guess my headset, I wasn't hearing anything, so my headset went silent. How long have I been quiet?
Just about 30 seconds, not very.
Okay. Let's see. So last thing I mentioned, Tommaso hadn't gotten his newcomers permission yet. Okay, and then I was getting into, so in general, when you're coming to a Discord server, you're going to want to look for your newcomers area, your gate area, your lobby area, figure out where the terms of services are, what their rules are, how to access the rest of the server. We don't have it on our server. We thought about enabling it, but there's a whole lot going on. So we're just like, it's going to be a whole bunch of clutter roles. But usually if there's sub communities on that server, they'll have, similar to how we had here in Magna Carta, the reaction role, where you click on it, you get the role for newcomer. They would have like, they might have one like, hey, what are you interested in the SCA? I'm interested in ANS. Okay, I click on the ANS icon and now I see all the ANS channels. I'm interested in hitting people with things. Okay, now you can see all the fighter channels. I'm interested in throwing things at other things. Okay, now you can see the thrown weapon stuff. And so you could have all those kinds of sub communities on your channel being reaction roles that then give permissions to see those channels. And that way, if you're not, like right here, there's obviously a bunch of things going on. If you wanted to reduce the clutter of what people see and thematically gate what they see, you can set those reaction roles up using the bot, using like Me6, to be able to set roles that have permissions to see specific areas. But also as a user, now you can self-select which areas of that server you actually want to see. I want to see everything. I really don't want to see 15 different channels areas. I just want to see the 2 that I'm interested in on this server. So one of the things that we tried to set up on here is the guild hall area, because Calafia does have a very active group of guilds. And we wanted to give them a place where they could come in, have a drop-in, be able to do their guild meetings, and do video, do voice, whatever. Obviously, we didn't want to have a channel for every single guild. We've got like 40 different guilds in Calafia. So we just created, here's 4 different guild rooms, and that should probably be enough. And if we need more, we'll create more. But so the guild masters, they get the guild master permission. They can come in here, they can unlock the channels, they can have their meeting, they can host it. Everyone hops in, they do their thing, they close the door behind them, and off they go. And that way, if they want to use Zoom, if they have their own Zoom, if they're going to do their own thing, cool, knock yourself out. If you want a community place to do that, here's some open and available channels for that. And you have, as a guild master, you have permission to do that. Obviously, managing that means managing permissions for all these individuals across your cluster. So that's a little bit management heavy and not something that's very fun, but it's a thing. One of the more fun places that we have is the event stages area. This has a unique set of permissions. So we have a stage instructions channel, and most of, from a management perspective. So in each of these areas, there's a management channel. So for instance, here in Arts and Sciences Village, there's an instructor's command channel, right? And this is a place where you can leave in, for the people who have the teacher's role, they can see this channel, the general users can't. So this is a place you can leave instructions for them on how to moderate the channel. So we have, here's the commands they can use, here's how to actually open and unlock the area and then close it behind them. So for instance, you can warn, as an instructor within the Arts and Sciences Village area, they can warn people who are being a problem in a channel, right? So here's the instructions for the commands that they have available to them as a teacher. And only those people with those roles can see that channel. But then you have, the voice and text channels going on as well. So for instance, here in the stage area, this is an area where people can come in and say, I want to be a performer. So whenever they join one of these audio text channel, or I'm sorry, the video audio channels, by default, they're muted and they don't have camera permissions, right? You're an audience member, sit down, be quiet. If you're an event steward or a performer, then you have video and you can stream. So if you come into the stage instructions channel and you click on the performer icon, yay, now I can video stream in those channels. Obviously, anybody can do that. Okay. Rumveldis is saying the invite was invalid. All right, we'll have to circle back around to that. So this way, the ability to activate your ability to get onto the stage is user selected. Now, this does create a bit of a loophole in the rest of our rule sets where, here in the event community chat channel, you can only have video streaming if you're a noble. Down here, you can only have video streaming whenever the channels are on. In here, all you have to do is come in here, click on the icon, and now you can video stream on the stages. But hey, you put yourself on the stage. So don't be a knucklehead about it. They actually did add a new stage feature to Discord natively, which, where are we? Nope, where'd you go? Is it an HQ? Here. So they actually sent out news and information to everybody, and they have a new thing in here about the new stage channels. I haven't actually gotten into this yet and used it because we already set up the stage channels before this, but in theory, this would be how you could set up an open mic area on your server as well. Oh, right. Sorry, back up a step. Some more thought processes. So we have the newcomer area, right? We also have an HQ area. Now this is where the moderators can have a backstage area. So the HQ camp at Petrura War, they can go back there and talk about stuff that's happening at the event site without everybody else seeing it. But also a public facing channel that people can go to. So even if they're muted, even if they're like, you're not allowed to text chat, you're not allowed to video chat anymore on here because you got warned. Well, where are you going to go to say, what the heck? Well, you go to base camp. And you say, what's going on? So they can actually go in here and say, hey, moderators, why did I get banned? Why am I muted? And actually still have permissions to talk there to try and resolve it, the potential issue. Admin commands get logged here. So whenever people use admin, nope, mod log. So the moderation, the bots, whenever they're saying stuff that's happening here, so like all you guys joining and everything else, all the permissions changing, that's all in here. Constable commands whenever they issue them, constable logs. So this is a whole area for keeping your moderation and administration site out of the public notice. Only the moderators will see that. Radio Free Calafia. Here's the commands for using the music area, and here's the channel you can join. Got all of them sitting in there waiting for you so you can stream you some music. We actually created some memorials. So this is a public area that people can come in and make comments and leave hopefully appropriate posts about people. We had a couple of people pass early on during the quarantine. So Their Excellencies asked if we could have a memorial channel for people to post things up about them. Game Hall is a whole nonsense thing on its own, but the hope there was that people could come in, talk about games and game accessories. There were some streaming services like Tabletopia, Board Game Arena, I think it is, where you can go there through the browser, play a tabletop game with people virtually. You could stream it back here so people could watch you playing the video game while you're chatting about it, yada, yada. We have the Plunder game that we run normally at Patrera War, and throughout the year. We tried to make a version of that that operates off of people's participation in the Discord channel. That ties back into that trying to encourage traffic, which of course it didn't. But, and that's actually using the points bot here. So we actually have stuff set up so that people, whenever they post in the gaming channels, they earn plunder tokens, and then they can use that for some nonsense within the system in there to do that. There's a whole bunch of silly games that game bots that you can add on. There's even a Pokemon game bot, so you can go hunting for Pokemon while you're chatting in Discord. And those are ways to help try and drive participation and active community engagement. All right, we are at 2:52. That went fast. All right. Any follow-up questions or thought processes that I can get back to? Yeah.
Beyond like the Me6 bot, like leveling up and gamification, what about engagement with those that don't really get gamification because they never really played games?
Realistically, that comes down to community building, right? If you have activities and you let people know and you have some form of hand-holding to get people through that learning curve of how to Discord, usually once you get past that learning curve and that understanding of, hey, this is virtual cheers. You can drop in and chat to people. There might be a conversation going. There might be a video chat you can join in. It just is there whenever. If you can, on a social media site, whenever you're having events, so like if guild stewards say, hey, we're going to have a guild meeting in the Discord tonight, hey, we're going to have the Thrown Weapons community, right? They have a weekly Thrown Weapons session where they show up and then they stream themselves throwing things at other things. The Armored community, they had a Pell practice that they did like every Tuesday night in there, and so they stream themselves hitting things with other things. And so that they would push that out on the Facebook. Hey, we're going to be in Discord tonight to do this stuff. And so that would come back to tell people, come over here to engage with the community. Unfortunately, because Zoom came out first and we were so late to the party with the Discord, everybody went to Zoom, and that's how pretty much everyone does their community engagement in sessions. So we've got a couple of guilds that are just like, no, we got Zoom, we're going to use Zoom, we're staying with Zoom, we don't want to use the Discord. And it's like, well, there's nothing we can do about that. It's not like we can, no, you have to use the Discord. So really it's about how can you broadcast and make known that you are doing things in the Discord to have people want to participate in those events, to be joining the Discord. There's little tricks you can do, like the gamification and everything else, to try and get people to want to participate in what they're doing in there. The Only Hams channel obviously was hey, here's a fun thing to come and post pig pictures on a regular basis, and that was emergent. I had no hand in that. Somebody said we should have that one, like, fine, here's a channel, and then they went with it. And realistically, that's about the only thing that I've been able to do that has driven content, and that was there were people who wanted to do a thing, and I enabled it for them. So PR and trying to get past that hurdle of Discord's for gamers, not for the SCA. Why are you using it? And trying to be able to show how is this useful for maintaining a virtual community? How does this get past the hey, where's the Zoom link? How do I get to the Zoom today? Well, if it's in Discord, log onto Discord and find the room. Where was it? The announcements area, right? We actually have, when we have events running in here, we'll actually put in, here's the schedule of events that are happening for the day. Here's all the events that are happening on our channels, where they're happening. If there's Zoom things, what's going to happen where? Here's a link to the Zoom in here, right? And trying to reflect a lot of that organization that people expect at an event site within the channel itself, to try and limit that friction of adoption. But unfortunately, I have not been successful in really going at the places that you're asking for to offer. I wish I could offer good, best practices of this is what worked. Here's what I've tried, and it sort of fizzled. So I hope you have better luck.
I hope so too. Thank you. This has been helpful.
Yeah. Let's see what are we looking at? I really should have that just sitting open. Okay. I got 2 more minutes. We can go ahead and end the recording at this point. There's nothing